Hello, my name is Trackneo, and this is my first video on YouTube. I am going to make a what if Luffy drank the Fountain of Youth from Seven Deadly Sin during the 2-year time skips. Um, so Luffy is going to drink the water after Rayleigh leaves the island. Let's say Rayleigh decided to tell him about a legend and that on the island there is a fountain that if you drink the water from it, you gain immortality. Luffy decides to go look for it once Rayleigh leaves to see if it is true. After a while of walking on the island, or running, since Luffy mostly do that, he finds a tree that is different from the others. It is taller and has a different color to it. When he gets up to the top of the tree, he sees a glass of water that is overflowing and looks eternal. It seems to have an infinite amount of water simply coming out of it. He decides to drink it, thinking it must be it, but he doesn't feel any change. So he decides to simply go back and train for the rest of the 2 years. During the 6 months that is left for the time skips, he sees that every time he is hurt, it heals pretty fast compared to normal, almost instantly, which intrigues Luffy, mostly thinking that it's awesome, because we all know Luffy, he isn't really asking for how it happens, more on how he can do it more. So he decides to simply continue training, and he remarks that he doesn't actually need to eat that much now to keep his strength, and he doesn't need to sleep that much either. So he decides to train even more than in the original. At the same time, compared to the original, since every time he gets hurt he heals instantly, his muscle won't tear. Once they tear, they heal instantly, which makes him instantly stronger. Not by much, but it helps him a lot. So he trains a lot more and a lot differently from what he did in the original. Like, let's say he at let's say that if we give an estimated amount of strength or for a multiplier, it would be around a 1.4, which in Luffy's case is actually pretty good. So after the rest of the time there, the women's from Boa Hancock's group of pirates this comes looking for him. When they come and takes him back to the archipelago, the same thing happens with Hancock, food, clothing, and whatever in the bag, and Luffy just leaves with food. On the island, pretty much everything happens the same. Everyone comes in the same order. Everything happens with the false Luffy Straw Hat group the same, up to the moment where the false Straw Hat group is recruiting in the middle of the archipelago. While Luffy is there and looking around, he and that the pacifista finds him, he moves faster than he did previously. When he attacks the pacifista, the same thing happens. It is stronger. The hole that he leaves in the ground is bigger, which is pretty impressive for everyone that's looking at it. We're already impressed just by the hole he made previously, but that time it was bigger, so the same amazement. Then, when Sanji and Zoro get to him to bring it back to the ship, everything happens the same all the way to the moment that they're telling what happens and what they have gains for the abilities they have. Everyone pass. Luffy doesn't tell about the immortality because he just thinks he heals really fast. Because Luffy is Luffy, and even if you tell him what's happening, he won't get anything. Then they start going down to Fishman Island. During that time, everything happens the same. The combat with Caribou, if you can call that a combat. Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji being separated from the boat. And all the way to the Kraken attack. When that happens, Luffy doesn't even go for gear third because he just try hitting. No, scratch that. He goes for gear third. Sorry. Pronunciation is extremely wrong right now. Like I was saying, he goes to third gear and tries to hit the Kraken, but just like in the anime, the air in the arm makes it go up instead. The difference is that since Luffy is stronger, he's able to pull it faster, so Sanji doesn't need to actually go and kick the Kraken automatically. Luffy's the only one to give it hits. After that happens, everything else happens the same. They put they take rope and put it on the Kraken. They'll hold the boat. Everything's happened the same up until the moment that they enter Fishman Island, where they get separated. Well, exactly the same. The only difference is that compared to when they fell, Luffy doesn't feel, just bounced back up. Everything happens the same practically from that point all the way up to when they get in the palace well, they didn't fight anyone, so they didn't actually have to do anything. But in the palace, the thing that changes is that when he meets with the princess and that he protects her from the axe, let's say that it slipped no, scratch that. It didn't slip. He actually was able to push it back and didn't do anything. So then Luffy decides, just like in the original, to take the princess out of the castle, which is a good thing since Hordy is there and is going to attack everyone. So then everything happens the same all the way to when the princess is close. Sorry, I'm really having trouble talking right now. But yeah, during the time that they are swimming around in Fishman Island, Luffy tells the princess about his power and what happened and why he wasn't scared of the axe. He tells her about the immortality, even though she doesn't comprehend it. After a while, everything happens about the same, all the way to when they get to the battlefield. So the 100,000 Fishman soldiers try to attack everything, and Luffy used Conqueror Haki. I'm going to say nothing changes really. Wait, no, I'm skipping something. Go back. The battlefield, Luffy is in the shark, but when he gets out of the shark before Hordy kills the king, and when he hits Hordy, he hits him a lot harder, which almost knocks Hordy's out, which surprises him. After that, during the battle, after getting back to the Straw Hat and then everyone else going, every fishman going to attack Luffy and the crew, well, Luffy used Conqueror Haki, and instead of knocking out half of the fishmen, let's say he knocked out about 50, let's say, no, 60,000 instead, which is a lot more, and funny enough, everyone is surprised by that, in the same way, because they knew he was strong, but not to that point. Then everyone showed their ability, like in the original, and everything happens the same up until the moment that Luffy is out of Fishman Island in a bubble, and is actually able to give a good fight to Hordy before he actually goes onto the boat. He still gets kind of beaten up because the water still affects him. The difference compared to a normal level 3 user would be that Luffy won't die from being underwater for too long. He's just kind of immortal, so doesn't need to breathe, eat, drink, or whatever. So he's just, if he would fall in water, he would just feel weak and pretty much useless until, or his body adapts to just keep his energy, he would and be able to move, or until someone gets him out of there. But yeah, everything goes about the same, except with Hordy taking more damage, which makes him weaker once they get on the Noah, and once they get on the Noah and that Hordy is beat, Luffy starts using gear third gear to break the Noah. would say he almost breaks it completely that time. The cracks are a lot deeper and it's almost going to be destroyed when the sea king comes back. This time, except is that Luffy is still pretty awake, since every part of damage he got just healed right off of him. So he was able to hear them correctly but didn't know what it was, so he didn't really care about it. So the same thing happens afterward with the party and the meeting every candy that we're supposed to go to Big Mom. Luffy getting mad and telling to the two commanders that he's taking control of the island and that they are under his protection. And that's where I'm gonna leave it, because it's starting to be late and that I kind of forget about everything after this point, and I'm going to rewatch everything. So yeah, this was my first video for YouTube and I don't know when I'm going to do the next one. I have a whole week where I'm probably going to watch One Piece up to where the anime is and do the next one, or just look at the next arc and do it and then do it on that and do that continuously. But yeah, for now the what is over, and yeah, ciao, Eterius out.